Okay, so let's talk about exporting or creating GIFs, okay, or GIFs. So here you have, so you can either export with a background, which in your case on a website, it's gonna kind of blend in anyway, so that's not a problem. Or you could export without a background, also known as an alpha channel. So what you would have to do is just like you would render anything else, you'd come to composition, add to render queue. Okay, here though, here is where you'd have to actually click. So we've been using presets in class. You would have to click over here, okay, and you'd have to change the format from H.264 to something like PNG sequence. Okay, this is just a sequence of images. It's basically just going to export your animation one image at a time, essentially. And then you'd have one image. And then depending on whether or not you want that background, you'd have to change the channels from RGB to RGB plus alpha. So plus alpha means you'll have a transparent background. Let's assume for your case, let's just assume you do want a transparent background. I think it'll work better on your website anyway. So we would export with RGB plus alpha, PNG sequence. Okay, we have to tell it where to export. So I'll just throw this on my desktop real quick. And you can give it a name like, logo animation, and don't touch this. This is basically just going to enumerate your sequence here, and yeah, we'll throw it in a subfolder too. Call it logo animation. That's less important. Hit save and then render. So you'll see that each frame of your animation has been rendered as an image, right? Okay, so we're halfway there. We need to then take this sequence of images and turn it into a GIF, okay? You would probably actually want to use Photoshop for this because After Effects doesn't have a built-in way to do this yet. Okay, from here, we'll open up Photoshop. Okay, File, Open, click on the first image that you exported from your PNG sequence, and then there should be a little image sequence checkbox. We're going to check that it's an image sequence, hit open. It's going to ask the frame rate. 30 is fine. You could put in a custom frame rate if you'd like, but I'd say whatever your After Effects frame rate was. So you could see that in your settings here. So mine was set to 30, so 30 is fine. Hit OK. Okay, from here, File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. And this dialog box is going to pop up, and it's going to take a minute to kind of load. It's a little slow. So from here, if I just press play, we can see that there's our animation. Great. We could loop forever, save, and then you get this old dialog box on Windows, so that's exciting. And then I'm just going to save it to the desktop here. GIF, save. Okay. Give it a minute. It's going to load and export the GIF, and then we should have a GIF on our desktop here, this guy here. Perfect, there it is. Okay, great, we did a GIF. This is what you would then upload to your Adobe portfolio.